But all I know from this story is apparently y'all motherfuckers got like 5 blocks, and then they had to call an Uber, and then apparently it was like a whole thing for you to get in the Uber and get out of it. Yeah.
Did we go in an Uber?
That's what I've heard.
They attempted to get you in an Uber, and one of you or Jose would refuse to get in.
Yeah, you weren't going to get in. You were like, no, I'm walking.
Yeah, we didn't need to get an Uber.
You see? Hey, laddies, what's up? I feel like Dylan should have said that. You know what? Dylan, take point. This is your fucking
this is your episode, Dylan.
Once a year, Dylan takes point.
Yeah, so this is my fucking episode.
Yeah.
So we actually end the episode right away.
Play the credits.
Yeah, but no, what's up, yo? Welcome to the Joystick Show, celebrating episode 184, but more specifically celebrating St. Paddy's Day, which as of recording is today. When you're watching, was 3 days ago. But don't overthink it too much. We're gonna have a good time. In fact, celebrate it again. Get drunk at work while you're watching this. That's how you should do it.
That should be in the shower.
Before we do anything, let's just get a couple formalities. You get used to it. Like us, subscribe to us. Those are commands. Those aren't suggestions. And if you want to know what we're talking about in specifics today, it is right next to my face. All right. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we're just going to chill today. We're going to have a couple of brewskis.
Whoa.
Interestingly enough, first time we've drank on the podcast a couple times before, but the first time we've had beers on the podcast. I don't know why.
Not our thing.
Because beers are not,
by the way,
good.
Would have very much liked to have Guinness here, but unfortunately we have to drink. What is Stella? Is it German?
I think it's
Belgian.
Belgian?
It is Belgian.
Yeah. Belgian?
If you guys don't know, Belgium is a country that shouldn't be real. It's like not a real country, you know?
At least the bottle's green, right?
I gotta say, in terms of beer, Stella's one that I fancy.
This was St. Patrick's Day's favorite
Cold,
drink.
it's good.
These came straight out of my freezing garage, so, you know. Could be cold.
Salut. Just like St. Patrick would say.
Yes.
Salut.
So should we start with what like we said before, or should I start with a little lesson for y'all with what St. Patrick's Day is about?
I think I like the lesson first. I think we learn something, and then as we drink, we talk more about.
Yeah, tell us a story.
Okay, so you guys know the story of the Easter Bunny.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know the story of Santa.
Yes.
You know how the
do you
fairy
recall?
works, right?
Yeah.
So you know about all these stories is that they're not actually real.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, this whole St. Patrick story is not real, except for the beginning part, which is just really sad. So firstly, St. Patrick got abducted when he was 16 years old, went all the way around Europe, ended up in Africa, was a slave for 6 years.
Okay.
Then somehow ended up coming all the way back to Ireland. And by the time he gets back to Ireland, the country is no longer religious. It is infested with locusts and snakes. And so he has to run all of the beasts, mainly known as snakes, out of Ireland and make it religious again. And that's why Ireland loves Jesus so much.
Snakes is symbolic, right? Like that's people who sin,
Yes,
I'm assuming.
exactly.
There weren't just a shit ton of snakes.
I was thinking a bunch of snakes.
But the whole thing was the whole point of like what actually happened is that he went to Africa, came back, people were fucking shocked he made it back.
Gotcha.
That's whole actual part of the story. The rest of it is
Now,
actually made
what
up.
I thought it was that he used the 3-leaf clover to talk about like religious, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
4-leaf.
But he used the third one because the 4th one is
lucky.
lucky. But he used the clover nonetheless to explain the Holy Trinity.
Did he really do that, or is that just like
A Dylan fact.
they lied to you?
Dylan, did St. Patrick's use the clover?
That is part of the lore, but
Yeah,
it
it
is part of the lore that he used a clover.
That Bible's got some good stuff.
there was-
in there, man.
yeah.
Some interesting stories in there.
That's how they get you with the It's actually a lot of them are based off of logic and reasoning
Yeah.
and killing people.
Yeah.
Definitely. But at some point, I don't know when, I think it was just stereotypes and what Irish people were known for. It became a drinking holiday. In a lot of places, it gets drunk and have bad opinions.
Yeah.
Holiday.
Mix that with a fucking podcast.
Exactly. You have some good opinions coming out right now. I had to work on today, St. Patrick's Day, and yesterday, where 1 block away the parade was happening.
Oh, nice.
So that was my experience. And I would just like to say that white people really make Irish people look bad. Back in the day, we were in the fucking, you know, like the tenement houses, you know what I mean? Living amongst the Italians, Jews, and other white people that were not accepted.
This is the part where there's a disclaimer on screen that says Dylan Diaz is in fact Irish and can have these opinions.
I can, but no, actually, at some point it became that there's some traditions that are part of Irish St. Patrick's Day. Besides the drinking, you have corned beef, delicious, just essentially just cured meat, almost pickled, kind of, but in a good way. Cabbage, some Irish soda bread. All of these foods were actually stolen from the Jews, but you know, we we don't have actual food. You go to Ireland, everyone's eating curry and like Chinese food that actually is also not actually Chinese food, but just their version of Chinese food.
I did not know
It's like
that.
fries and gravy and curry sauce. You're like, this is Chinese food, but it's fucking delicious.
Interesting. I was gonna fucking
Sounds
say.
delicious.
Interesting enough. Did you know that there's like some interesting history between Ireland and Puerto Rico? That there's like that whole thing that there's like this Puerto Rican dude. I don't remember his name or what he did specifically, but he helped a lot in like Ireland gaining their independence and stuff like that.
Whoa,
So,
that's
like,
dope.
I like to
Homies.
think that that's just me and Dylan reincarnate.
Yeah.
I think that is.
We were
you
just
guys.
vibing, just
Uh-huh.
liberating
I think,
Ireland.
I mean, it makes sense too. I also get along with like any Puerto Rican person I meet. Not only Puerto Rican people are super homey, but I feel like they're just very like working class people. You know,
I don't like the way you
Get
said
it.
that.
we like
I'm
that.
not a fan
you
of
know?
that.
I feel like Irish people are usually homie.
Yeah.
I don't. I
I get
actually
that vibe.
don't know any
I
other
get
Irish
mixed.
people. Actually no. I have like neighbors.
No,
that
no,
are
no.
Irish. They're
You just
pretty
you just
cool.
don't have like off the boat Irish people.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
fuckers
The
are
curly
actually-
whirlies.
Those are
The curly
The
those
curly
are real
whirlies.
Irish people. They're
And don't worry, guys. Before this
They're
episode's
strong.
up, Dylan will be doing another Irish accent. Also, shout outs to the heart that's in my beer. Oh, look at
Aw.
that. So cute.
Dylan, I have a question.
yes.
Is it cultural appropriation to wear green today? If I'm not Irish.
No, not at all. That's like not part of it.
Yeah, where it's
I
just
think.
like on the flag, right? Like,
Yeah, I think it's just we like we're like Ireland is synonymous with green, so it's like an honor you do it, and like we really don't see it. Like it's worse if you claim you're Irish and you go out there and like pee in public or something. That's worse
Gotcha.
than actually like I don't know. I feel like it's just a lot of like
So there's no stolen Irish valor.
yeah, no, not at all. Just hey, don't underage drink. Really, like that's the only thing I can think of.
Got you.
All right,
Except
so,
if you're Irish. If you're Irish,
so we can all dress
get
up.
behind the wheel.
We can all dress up as leprechauns and run through like an Irish neighborhood, and that's cool. Okay, cool.
So glad for that lesson. Genuinely,
Mhm.
good to know where the origins of this holiday come from.
Correct.
One thing I'm curious to make conversation about is what's the drunkest y'all have been in your lives? If you could go back to a moment in time.
I can remember mine immediately. I had a cast party after a performance I did that was really well received. So the main character of that show, had a giant party in his small apartment, like in a project somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not only was it a very lit party, because like I think he like got rid of all his furniture just to accommodate space.
Got you.
But there was this one actress, a co-star, that she made these like vodka gummy bears.
Oof.
And they were like very like almost wet.
Yeah, no.
And some
they soak
people
all that shit in.
Yeah, and some people like passed it. And I was like already getting tipsy. I was dancing. Everyone's dancing and jumping around.
It's like sweet too. I can only.
And she was there. She was sad. She was like, oh, and jokingly was like, no one wants to have my vodka gummy bears. And I was like, I'll have them. I'll have them. And then I went to go get like a spoon to put in a cup. And then I thought, no one's eating these. So I just took the entire bowl. And I was walking around the party eating an entire bowl of vodka gummy bears.
Oh my god!
I think I finished that entire bowl.
Oh my.
It's candy. What are you talking about? That's not alcohol.
So the rest of the night, and how to describe it to anyone who's never been blackout drunk before, feels like I'm pushing chapter select in my life. Because 1 minute I was in the party.
Oh yes, I feel it.
That's a
1
pretty good
minute I'm in the
explanation.
party, and then it's like, boom, and I'm like in the subway. And I was like, how did we get here? And then they're like, we took a bus and we got on the subway. And I'm like, we did? And they're like, yeah, let's get on. The doors open, doo doo. I go, boom, and we're in a taxi. And I'm like,
Damn.
huh? What?
We're on the 7 seas.
Motherfucker had the click remote, was fast forwarding.
And then the last time it happened, I woke up, like, I didn't wake up. It's almost like your brain starts working again and you're like conscious. But I was like, and there was like waffles in front of me. I was in an IHOP and I ordered chicken and waffles and I was like,
hell yeah, I want that right now.
Damn. I like how your brain still knew what was going on. Like the alcohol didn't let you know what was going on, but your brain was like, we got this.
I'm just glad that drunk Joey ordered chicken and waffles.
I'm just
so glad that he wasn't
a good choice.
No,
I wasn't like, I want this.
No, Joey. Regular Joey made that choice. I think you just didn't know what was going on.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
That's wild.
I think my big drunk story was DR. That was not us.
I was about to say that.
Pre-DR, yeah.
Although I will admit, I think I did get lit fairly often on that trip. In fact, the podcast day, I was like day drunk at 2 PM.
I was like a steady buzz the entire trip.
Yeah.
You know, I was like just and like I remember like everyone had like your uncle having a pen that was mad strong.
Hell yeah.
Like that helped of like just
Everyone
being
had pens,
like
man.
yeah.
But fucking, I think the worst for me was the first time I went to DR. I think I was 19 at the time, maybe 20, and out there the drinking age is lower, so it's like, oh, lit. I'm an adult here. We're gonna get fucked up. But I was drinking pretty much the whole vacation, but we were there for a wedding. The actual day of the wedding is where I got at like the most fucked up. I remember it started with beers on the beach. Got to the wedding, started drinking a rum and coke. At one point, somebody brought me mamajuana, and I'm drinking that. And then I had another cocktail. And through all of this, all this mixing and shit, I was fairly fine. It wasn't until we got to the after party of the wedding, after the wedding, that I took a shot of tequila, and that just sent me over the fucking limit.
You listed like 8 different alcohols.
Yeah, it was a bad choice. So fucking as soon as I take that shot of tequila, I am zooted out of my mind. Like I can't fucking pay attention to what's happening. I'm having a good time. I'm dancing, blah, blah, blah. At one point, I have to pee. So I go into the bathroom. And I was wearing these pants that had 4 buttons on them. It's like not a zipper. And it was just it's too complicated even when you're not drunk.
Oh,
so when you're blackout, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? So I got like 2 buttons down and I just couldn't get the rest. And they're tight. So it's not like I'm stuck in my pants trying to take a piss. So my genius idea was to kind of snake my dick up and out of the pants. And then I thought, that I'd just pee straight in the urinal and everything would be fine. But then I started to pee and physics took over and my dick went up and I peed up into my shirt. So I pissed myself, but the pants were completely dry. I pissed into my dress shirt. And then I was like, ugh. So I stopped that. I walk out of the bathroom in just like a wife beater and pants.
Yeah.
And I just have like the shirt balled up and I like stuff it behind like a sofa or something. But my cousin Danny sees me and he's like, yo, why'd you walk out without your shirt on? And I'm like straight up, I was like, yo, Danny, I pissed myself. But I only peed inside of my shirt. So I just put it there. And he's like, how the fuck did you pee in your shirt? And I was like, I don't know, man. Fucking
physics.
They don't make them like me, physics.
That is hilarious. I peed in my shirt.
I remember my mom was trying to get me to fucking leave, and I didn't want to. I was getting ghetto with her. I was like, nah, chill the fuck out. We're going to stay. We're going to have a good time. She didn't have a good time, with me talking to her like that, but my dad's sister, my Titi Jolie, was loving it. She was egging it on. She was like, say it again. I was like, chill, relax. I'm having a good fucking time. My mom's like, oh yeah, you're gonna fucking remember that shit.
You're gonna get this shit, yeah.
Finally, my cousin Jose, who's like big Air Force dude, comes and he's like, Bobby, it's time to go. And I'm like, it's time to go, Jose. It's time to go. It's time to leave. Blacked out. Next thing I remember, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. because I promised my dad we were gonna go scuba diving. I signed my life away with the scuba instructor, who's an Australian living in the DR.
Oh, of course. It's always an Australian guy. Yeah.
Fucking signed my life away. I'm like, do you have a bathroom? He's like, yeah, I might swap there. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm tired as shit in the bathroom, but there's no way to rest my head. So all that's there is the toilet paper roll on the fucking wall. So I'm like, and I rest my head on that. And then, it like double snaps off and I face plant the wall. So now I walk out with a cut on my fucking forehead and I'm vomiting. Long story short, we did go scuba diving.
I feel
did that help?
I feel like you didn't.
Your boy went 5 feet down, and I'm really glad that you take the lessons and you learn the fucking hand gestures, because 5 feet down, I was like... They took me back up, and the last thing I remember, and my favorite part of this fucking story is there was an old Dominican man just sitting on the boat who this is his job. You know, he takes tourists out as part of the resort and his excursions. And he's just sitting there just like kneeled down, like fists up like that, just like contemplating while the boat is rocking. Like whatever. Can't even tell what this man is thinking about.
It could be anything.
Anything. But he's like deep in thought. So at one point I'm like, my broken English Spanish, I'm like, Senor. And he's like, sí. I'm like, can I get a life jacket and just be in the water? And I think he could tell I was like really drunk. He's like, yeah, for sure. So he helps me in a life jacket and practically pushes me off the boat. And I really wish somebody could have been there to take a picture of that moment, because it would have been a contemplative, shirtless, like middle-aged Dominican man,
and
like
you
that,
just fucking,
and me floating and vomiting into the ocean, just not even projectile, just on myself, just kind of like. So a beautiful moment, just one that I'll cherish deeply. It's one of those things that it's terrible, but you look back on it and it's fucking funny. It's funny as shit. So
feels like a sitcom, like Curb Your Enthusiasm moment.
And if you're wondering why I don't drink, there you go. This is an exception.
Yeah.
The channel is an exception.
Yeah, but beer is different.
To be fair, when do you see me drink when it's not for the fucking channel?
Oh yeah, it's never.
Just saying.
It really is. Yeah, true. That is correct.
What about you? How about fucking anybody?
I mean, the thing is, I don't drink a lot either, and like I drink, but I drink when I'm like at like a family function or something, you know, like not getting like drunk.
There's gotta be something, Jerry.
So, like the drunkest I've been that like I've done, like I've been like, oh, I don't fucking remember, is like I think on Bobby's 21st. Yeah.
I look to this day. We have tried.
I think that the best recollection is like Jessica,
yeah, but she refuses to come on the podcast.
She's like
but it would be the greatest story. It'd be
I just remember like me and Jose were being real annoying.
You guys were
like, it was like,
y'all,
it's like a 25-minute walk from Bobby's house to my
like
house.
literally 3-year-old intelligence.
I think it's funny that Jerry doesn't know anything about it, but I know more about it. All I remember, and I was fucked up too. It was my 21st. I was trashed. But all I remember is Jerry and Jose were really fucked up, and they were gonna go home. And for whatever reason, Jessica, Carolina, and Siobhan, our old female friends, I mean, Jessica's still our friend, fucking took it upon themselves they were like, we're going to help them get home. Yeah. You know? But keep in mind, like, and I'll say this, Jerry and Jose lived like a 25 minute walk from me. And for what it's worth, as drunk as Jerry and Jose were, they would have gotten home. Yeah, I know that. It probably would have been 45 minutes, but they would have gotten home. But all I know from this story is apparently y'all motherfuckers got like 5 blocks, and then they had to call an Uber, and then apparently it was like a whole thing for you to get in the Uber and get out of it. Yeah.
Did we go in an Uber?
That's what I've heard.
They attempted to get you in an Uber, and one of you or Jose would refuse to get in.
Yeah, you weren't going to get in. You were like, no, I'm walking.
Yeah, we didn't need to get an Uber.
You see? Like, that's the funniest.
That's Jerry. It was Jerry.
I wonder if fucking Jose remembers anything about it.
Oh my God.
Like this, it's not that far to be calling an Uber. I don't know.
So that's Jerry's logic, but drunk Jerry's like, I'm not going to a fucking Uber.
Yeah. Like,
no. And I just imagine him going like, no.
Yeah, the only time I'll call an Uber home from here is like if I'm tired. Like even if it's late and I'm not tired.
You got Uber money now, so it's like, fuck it. You know, who gives a shit? Got that Uber money.
And now you
got that Uber money.
Dylan's told me one really good drunk story, but it was a long time ago. I just want to see if it correlates.
Okay. Can you say like one word to summarize it?
Creamsicle. Did I nail it?
You nailed it.
Fuck yeah, I love this story. This is my favorite drunk Dylan story.
This story has 2 things in it, which are 2 of the best alcoholic drinks ever mentioned and are the worst mixed things you can ever mix.
And Dylan has told me about this since we were like 17, 18, and I have yet to try it, and I will one day.
So my neighborhood is really big on drinking when you're like 12 years old.
Okay.
Like 14, you know, that's when you start.
I can concur.
My brother worked at a bar, which will be unnamed because it is now a apartment complex with a like pharmacy opening underneath it at some point. Because
for anybody who's watching at home, Dylan for the majority of the first half of his life lived on an island of 200 Irish and Italian people.
Yeah, I mean at its core it was like a good 2,500.
200 is funnier, but
yeah, 100%. I get what you're saying. Small community. Yeah. My brother worked at a place where like it was constant to see like 17-year-olds just hanging out, you know. But this had 2 of the best drinks. Number 1, Four Loko. Incredible. Not the old Four Loko, not the one that would have killed you, right?
Yeah.
This is the new and improved Four Loko. Nowadays, like South America has like a weird connection with Four Loko. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's just like you can get like a Four Loko slushy. You know,
I think I have. You posted that.
Yeah. And it's like they have like this weird cult following in like South America. Anyways, delicious. Go have one. And then number 2 was a drink that I was introduced to. So after showing up to a party drunk an hour late, I was introduced with a drink that could only be described as the best thing ever, and that is orange soda vanilla vodka, fucking classic.
That does sound good.
That sounds interesting, baby.
But it just tastes amazing.
Yeah.
But it is also 40% vodka.
Can I stop you for 1 second?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but with a scoop of ice cream, like an alcoholic,
or like
flow.
whipped cream on top.
That's what I'm saying. I think we just figured something out.
I think we just figured out how to murder people. So imagine drinking something that tastes decadent, and then also having a Four Loko in your system.
Oof.
At the worst party you've ever been at.
Yeah.
Like people I don't know, people I don't even like. But I went along with it because I wanted to get fucking wasted.
Yeah.
And I did. It was too much. I had to go home though, So I sat with my ex-girlfriend's friend as she had to go to the bank and order a burger.
What?
Yeah, which is like I'm here drunk and I'm just kind of like okay, but now I'm at the chapter select screen portion of being drunk where now I'm not remembering anything and there's like 30 minutes of time that are going by. It's progressively getting later, and I'm like, we haven't done anything. Like I was at the shitty party. Now we were at a bank 10 minutes from my house. The fuck is going on? And now my next memory is me vomiting on the MTA, which is just if you ever walked into the MTA,
you're a New Yorker.
Have you seen vomit? I thought I would never be that person. I am the vomit.
You realized we're all that person.
Everybody has.
We are New York.
We've all vomited on the train, right?
We are New York.
No way.
I vomited in the subway in a trash can, but it wasn't drunk.
It's usually on the
dying
platform.
for the first
I've done it
half of my
twice,
life,
and the first time was on the platform.
I have a feeling I vomited on the train.
Anyways, I'm so sorry, MTA worker. All of a sudden, snap. It is like 7 a.m. There was a whole night probably. I don't know what I did in my room. I started freaking out because my alarm started going off at about like 8-ish. And now I have to find my phone with my alarm going off.
As you're hungover as shit.
Where's my phone?
I let that shit ring for a good like hour, bro, because it wasn't that loud. That's how far away this phone was that I barely heard it, and I was like, I could.
Was like, fuck, that's a good song.
I could sleep through it,
song.
And then I just stayed awake, and I was like, I'll find it when I'm awake, right? I literally not had coffee, but I woke up, washed my face. And it was in my closet.
Yeah, I remember that.
At the bottom of my closet, next to my Nintendo 64, and it didn't work.
And how the fuck
Which inspired me to buy a Nintendo 64.
You know what I'd like
along
to think
with
happened?
Bobby's video games. That made me want to buy
I'd
one.
like to think you got home drunk as shit, and you're like, I gotta play fucking Super Mario 64 right now, and you were just like violently looking for it, and you fell asleep while you were looking for it, and that's why your phone was there. That's what I like to think happened.
That sounds plausible.
That actually, I mean, this kind of sounds like like a fucking missing persons. Like we're trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I probably threw my phone.
That's what I think.
For some fucking reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I don't know why.
I think that is the most probable answer.
I wish I had a payoff to that story. I don't know what the. I feel like maybe this is a good moral, but
to all these stories is drink responsibly.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah.
Probably.
Drink and get an Ubers when your friends tell you to go.
Yeah, Uber. Get an Uber.
It's expensive. No,
We'll
it's not.
And if you're gonna drink irresponsibly, just don't go scuba diving.
Also, by the way, the Uber ride, as long as the Uber driver's not, it depends. If it's really bumpy, it sucks. But if it's not bumpy, that's a great fucking ride.
Yeah.
Tell them to change the temperature, you're good.
Just knock out.
You're in there. You're safe.
Definitely.
You're safe, except if you're,
Jerry or Jose.
Yeah. Then you won't get it.
Oh, man. Wanted to take a moment to thank y'all for coming to my game night. I had a good time.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's fun. Isn't it weird that it's rare we do communal things like that?
I mean, I feel like it's just we hang out once a week. and now we're also adults also.
Yeah.
That it's like we have to come up with a second
you
day on the weekend to also hang out. It's like you gotta like
but that's how
That's the whole
adults do it.
weekend.
This has to align. We have to plan.
But that's what I'm starting to realize. We're at that point in our lives where if we want to fucking do shit, it's like 2 weeks in advance. We gotta
2 weeks in advance. We gotta make like a fucking Google Calendar shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Jerry can make something for us. I'll pay Jerry money.
Yeah, good job, Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry. Maybe I want to make like an interactive calendar or something.
Make an interactive calendar.
That's work.
Yeah.
That's literally
Google
work.
exists, dog.
No,
we can literally have a group calendar.
I want a custom made website that literally just triggers a Calendarly invite. Calendarly invite. Just fucking do it.
A point is, I had a good time. I wanted to thank y'all for coming. I also thought it was cool that we actually like played the games. It was like fun to kind of. We even roped Jose into it. At first, Jose was like, "Nah, I don't want to do anything." And then he was like, all of a sudden, he's doing fucking charades, and I'm like, "Oh shit, let's go!"
Look at him go.
Love that Blockbuster game. That shit ended up being a lot more fun than I expected. And I've already found some games that I definitely want to get and play. I found one that's called U's and Q's that looks really cool. Excited for
I'll
it.
bring some of mine too.
Yeah, for sure. What's that game that we played at your house that it was like you had to roll a die, and then based on the number you had to like
Zombie dice?
No, you had to like name a certain number of things on a card.
Oh, Joe Name It or something.
Joe
like
Name
that.
It.
Yeah,
I want that.
That's
game.
amazing. I love that. I gotta get that game. It's sick.
Did you play it?
Yeah, I think I was there
It's
for
mad
that.
fun. It's like one of those really stupid, simple games, but it's just really fun to like play it.
there's
I'm
a
gonna
dice
get it.
with numbers 1 through 6,
Yeah.
and a card. It will say
Has a
name.
category.
Yeah,
Oh, like
name.
name 3 children's animated movies or something.
Yep.
then you have
And
to
depending
name
on the
them.
dice you roll, I played that game with Nicole's family the first time I met them, just to break the ice.
Our game is fun. I want to get it. I've been theorizing some sort of board game thing on Joystick just because we have a lot and they make for good.
And we got cameras and we got fun.
It's like we do productions here or something
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
But fucking, I definitely want to try that, and I want to get some funny games for that. And yeah, game night was just fun. I had a good time. And then we watched Lights Out. I mean, you guys watched Oh, you weren't here for that. They watched the scary movie.
It was all right. I don't want to get into a review.
I didn't
of that.
watch it, to be fair. I was too busy cleaning the rest of the house, and I just honestly wasn't really that into it.
I feel like it was a movie that Jessica thought was really good because she doesn't watch a lot of horror movies, I think.
No, she only watches horror movies, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Does she? Really?
Yeah.
I need to hang out with Jessica more. But I thought I didn't. I saw better.
They hang out with Jessica once a week. You have to hang out with Jessica more.
Yeah, we just go with them.
Yeah, like
No,
once a month.
that's what I said. Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
And for the record, it's because we're all on iPhone. That's literally how the joke surmised. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we had
yeah.
like a group chat.
I
and
understand
some
that.
blue bubbles.
I only get a
Yeah.
tiny little bit of FOMO.
Yeah, you know. I mean, look, you guys are always invited. Just fucking come. That's how
If
it
we
is.
know about that it's happening.
That's not my job.
No, honestly, there was like a couple of months where it was like once a week, and I was like, I did show up a couple of times, and it was fun.
No, yeah. It even happened. Remember, you came for that was the time Jessica didn't come because she was sick, but you came for the Christmas one where you. make
maybe.
that was when we played the VR shooting game. Remember?
I don't remember.
Shows how good of a friend you are.
I have a horrible memory.
It was the night.
Same.
It was the night. It was the first time you came to my house with the PSVR 2, and you were showing Jerry and I the shooting.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Jessica was supposed to come over that night. That we drank the coquito,
That was good.
but
yes.
she was sick and she couldn't come.
Before this
And what's even funny, she mentioned that the other day because we were like, oh yeah, you know, Joey and Dylan, they don't come over as often, and Jessica was like, she was supposed to come that time that I got sick. So it's like she remembers, she loves y'all. You know?
Aww. Before this podcast ends about St. Patty's, the leprechaun attacked my classroom again.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so similar
You
to
recorded it this time.
So, but we do try to record it, and I've brought up in the last St. Patrick's Day episode that I make my students create this leprechaun trap because I found on Instagram that a lot of preschoolers and kindergartners had that experience, and I was like, that looks fun. I'll do that for my students. So we make a leprechaun trap. They're coloring it. They're throwing glitter on it. It's an incredible mess of a day and cleanup. But the day arrives. I'm like, all right, let's go outside for recess. I'm gonna put my iPad here to record. And we'll see if we can capture the leprechaun. I gave them Lucky Charms, and I put some Lucky Charms in the trap as well. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And while we're in recess, my boss and my mother come into my classroom, and they they flip tables, they flip chairs, they use green silly string.
All right,
I'm gonna rock it! Basically, and
You're green to go.
I think of that fucking that what's this guy, the Tim Robinson sketch with the lawyer where it's like the Turbo Twins come in and they start wrecking everything with the Turbo Crew.
When we come back, the kids immediately see the classroom and they lose it. They're like, oh my God, he came.
He came.
Then the green silly string, right? The green silly string's everywhere. No, so then I do some quick editing on the camera. Like I edit it, crop it together to make one film of like
it just
us
cuts
leaving,
really
and it
quick.
just cuts really quick. And the kids, since they don't know what editing is anything, they're like, how did he do that?
I just imagine them like that motherfucker from The Incredibles, like right there, you see it, it was right there.
Basically, they were like, how did he do that? I bought gold coins at Party City, like a bulk of 100, and I scattered them around the classroom, and they were like running. And this little girl was so happy and excited. Every classroom we walked by, or like when my mother or my boss came and she saw her, she was like, look. She was like, she went during rest time. She went to sleep with it in her hands too. Like she was so hyped to get gold. She thought she was rich.
That's amazing.
Bro, when you're a little kid and you get some gold shit, you're like, this is real fucking gold.
This is money.
Awesome,
This is a life.
It's like when you were a kid and you got like dollar coins.
Yeah.
This is a different ball game. This isn't a dollar. This is a dollar coin. Okay, you don't have this.
This is going in my pocket.
I have one student that brings $1, and I don't know if her parents know, because sometimes they don't know. But she's like, Mr. Joey, and I'm like, what? And she pulls out $1. And she's like, and I'm like, whoa.
Bro,
I love that.
I had a fucking great moment now that we're talking about this at work the other day. One of my fucking students, we were literally talking about like weird printed money, and they didn't know that the $2 bill existed, you know, because they're super rare. And I was like, yeah, they exist. And he was like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm telling him, like, I have one. Like, I'm not kidding. And I forgot the president. We looked it up, and I showed it to him. And he was like, oh, shit, it's like a real thing. And I was like, yeah. And I was telling him, I was like, they're just really rare because they stopped printing them, so you don't see them as often. And he's like, man. And he's like, how much are they worth? And I started dying, bro. I looked at him, and I was like, and he was like, what? And I was like, it's worth $2 fucking.
Isn't that actually capped that they stopped printing? Don't they actually still print them?
I don't know. I doubt it.
No, I don't.
You never
I heard
see,
they
I feel
do,
you'd
but
have
the
to see
people
them.
like people hoard them.
I got a
It makes
$2
no
bill.
sense. You would see them.
I got my first $2 bill from a thank you card from the summer from one of my parents. So, like, the parents gave me a card at the last day of school, and I was reading it. It was like, thank you. We really appreciate it. And they gave me, like, maybe a 2 20s or a 20 and a $2 bill. And that was the first time I ever saw it. I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm, like, really cherishing this. Like, out of all the dollars they could have gave me, like, they were like, give him the $2 bill.
This has 2 in 1.
Yeah, they were, give him the $2 bill. The rare money that you don't usually find.
Interesting. Jerry is right. While the note is less common, $2 bills are still being printed. 108.3 million entered circulation in 2022 and count as legal tender. You can even pick them up at a bank, though it'll likely only feature the design that took to the presses in 1976. Well, you get $2 bills at the bank. It's kind of funny. I didn't even.
I want to get a bunch now.
50 and 2s.
Give me 50 and 2s.
Yo, imagine if you
And
said
just
that.
be like,
yo, that's probably an inside joke between bankers, and they look at you and they're like, huh,
Finally.
How do you know?
they
push a
buddy,
button.
buddy, you're funny. You know, like they completely change character. You're like, what the fuck?
I'll have 50 and 2s, and they're like,
There's some guy's been waiting his whole life for somebody to ask him. He's been
fucking
meaning
guy.
to open that drawer. He's like, are you serious? Like, for real? 25 2s. Got you. That'd be so hype.
pulls out like a gun. He's like, good luck.
What president is on the 2? Guys, take a guess. What president's on the 2?
Aquaman.
Harry Truman.
Oh, it's Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Number 3, right? He was 3?
That makes sense.
Gotcha.
He also ran like the Declaration of Independence shit.
And they put him on
He
the
ran
number 2.
that
He ran
shit.
that shit.
Work.
Word.
TJ.
He ran that shit. John H.C. came in with a SIG.
Yeah, that
I'm just
John
trying to make-
Hancock.
GW led the
See?
wars.
Stay
Joe
tuned,
Budden.
stay tuned for when Dylan and I make urban historical videos for youth.
That
you
sounds
know?
like it'd be a good musical.
I'm just the white guy that does the intro.
Me and Dylan's version of fucking of Hamilton. But what event is it? We should do Lincoln. It's his assassination.
Lincoln's assassination, but in
No.
Hamilton.
Me and my wife went to the thing to watch a show, and then the guy came in and blew my head off. Yeah, you see that.
The sound everybody heard.
Yeah, and then John Wilkes Booth is like the good rapper. He comes in, and he's like, "I killed that motherfucker." Come in, and he like does really fast.
V-digs, yeah,
be mad
for sure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I see it.
I like it.
I gotta get.
We should
work.
rap every historical moment.
You should do that.
Yeah, right.
On your own.
Yeah. I want Joey to do
We could have people battling versus each other.
That's that would be epic.
That would be pretty epic.
Joey does Watergate. It ends up being like a 47-minute rap, and he took the files and hid them in the basement. It's like,
and Forrest Gump song called "The Hotel Lobby." Oh fuck!
Oh my god!
Thank you. Fucking. Let's move it on to Jam and Jam.
Yeah.
What music y'all been listening to?
My BAM is gonna be Joey's rap.
Yeah. Be on the lookout for it.
Fuck the Lincoln musical. Oh shit.
Nah, but it's gonna be Joey's band. It's a Hole in the Earth by Deftones.
Ooh. Hey.
Yeah.
That's a good band.
It is.
It is a
I
good
got
band.
options. This is crazy.
I actually have a lot of options too. Joe, you want to go?
My slam comes from, it's sad to say, it comes from the Fortnite's Music Fest because they're really promoting Blink-182's latest album. So they have like a Blink-182 like bundle with like its old songs and its new songs. So I decided to check up like what they're making now, and it's pretty good. The song I choose is "You Don't Know What You've Got" by Blink-182. I've been making Spider-Man play that song and sing that song. Blink-182 vibes definitely changed from the young pop punk, hanging out with my friends, eating pizza, the girl broke my heart, to like, am I gonna be happy in life? And the loved ones I know are slowly disappearing.
But they still sound like this.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A bit more emo.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a bit more emo than pop punky.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Because they did that. Thank you, Joey, for the Blink-182 appreciation.
You're welcome.
They're fucking
That's
slept
another
on.
good band. Yeah.
Yeah, because especially because like they made that kind of album and then they broke up 18 times.
Yeah.
So very unfortunate. My yam of the week is a band by the name of Military Gun with the song
Military
Big
Gun.
Disappointment. They're like a noise rock band, but they're like all like 19 and grew up in like the pop punk scene. So they have a very like a mixture of those two sounds. Very High is also a good song, but Big Disappointment.
Fire.
Mhm.
Let's get some Foley real quick. Funk. That's
That
good.
is
I thought it was gonna be like a funk. Anyway, I'll replace it with the funk I just made. My jam of the week. I'm gonna do Dylan's favorite thing, where I shout out another song.
I shouted out a whole album, so go for it.
Yeah, that's cool. Last week I gave my oh no I didn't, but a few weeks ago I gave my jam of the week to the song that won at the Oscars, which was Billie Eilish's "What Was I Made For" from Barbie.
Yeah.
And I just want to give another shout out to another song from another movie that won a shit ton of Oscars, from the score of Oppenheimer, called "Can You Hear the Music," which is just an incredible piece of music.
That's beautiful.
But my jam of the week is going to go to a pretty dope kind of funk beat song called Soul Fast Drums by producer Floor Baba. It is the new intro for the Super Mega Show, which is the new alteration of the Super Mega Cast, and it's just a fire fun tune. So shout outs to Soul Fast Drums.
Yo, funny enough, have you guys did you guys use Spotify's DJ today? They tried to give me they were like, here's a Spotify St. Patrick's Day playlist. I'm
No,
like,
I didn't get that. I didn't get that.
It was just Irish bands.
Like Dropkick Murphys and shit.
Johnny,
Stuff
I
like
heard
that,
they do,
basically.
yeah.
We're shipping up to Boston. And then you watch fucking
I'm
Good Will
offended.
Hunting.
I'm offended.
Are you? You should be.
You should be here. Do me your accent.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to.
I actually do fucking Scottish.
Was that Scottish?
I
I can't tell. I'm a racist.
Bobby. Yeah, I've done it before. You go up the river, you go down the bus.
It's kind of sexy though. I gotta.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hit him with the lift.
Yeah.
Jerry's got a little in him. Let's find it out.
My mother and my father killed a man in my basement.
You gotta say things like, "Oh, Bobby, you kick your fucking arse."
I'm a proud
Bobby kicked
Irishman.
his arse
I'm a
last
proud
night.
Irishman. I'm Cillian Murphy.
I'm gonna break this bottle across your head.
No.
I'm sorry to anybody
fucked
who's
it up.
Irish that is watching that. Or maybe I'm not sorry.
Who knows?
Point is,
We don't care.
thank you for watching this episode of the Joystick Show. If you caught this episode last year, it just so happened to be our highest viewed episode of the Joystick Show due to the YouTube algorithm.
Amazing.
So if that happened again, sorry. But if it didn't,
Thank you.
most likely, fuck it, whatever.
Thank you for watching.
Make sure to go ahead and like this episode of the Joystick Show. Go make sure I can't even speak. Go make sure to subscribe to us because it feeds our egos and it helps us feel better at night. And from all of us here at Joystick, we hope you guys had a fun and a safe St. Patrick's Day. Dylan, lead us out with a jig. Thank you, Jerry. You're already standing. You have to do it, dude. Yes! Yes!